Hey y'all, I'm Angela Barrett, and this is Talking South Carolina. Now y'all take a load off and listen, because no matter if you just moved here, thinking about moving here, been here your whole life, or you just plain nosy, bless your heart, I'll have something for you. Like, who's living in High Cotton? Who's madder than a wet hen? Places to go if you got a hankering for fried chicken, and where you can go to get drunk as Cooter Brown. We'll talk pig pickings, cow tipping, tillions, hay rides, who's buttering whose biscuits, what's a case quarter, and lots of other stuff. So stay a while. Y'all, it's gotta be a hoot.
This episode of the Talking South Carolina podcast has been brought to you in part by HomeMattersSC.com, professional real estate services and marketing in the Midlands of South Carolina for people who want more. And by SimplyArley.com, video editing, podcast production and consulting, graphic design, you name it. And now she's a realtor by day and a podcaster by night. Here's your host of the Talking South Carolina podcast, Angela Barrett.
Hey guys, today I have with me Nicholas Palmer, who is the music director and conductor of North Charleston Pops. Hey, Nick, thanks for being here.
Hey, no problem, Angela. I'm thrilled to be with you.
Yeah. Well, this is exciting. I don't know that I've ever talked with a Maestro one-to-one before.
We're just like regular people.
Yeah. Yeah, you say that, but the creativity and the that you guys have and the knowledge is just beyond anything. I mean, just amazing to watch. Tell me what North Charleston Pops is.
Well, we are a professional pops orchestra, and the difference between a pops orchestra and any other orchestra, I mean, there are jazz orchestras, there are pops orchestras, there are what people would call classical orchestras. The difference between a pops and those is that we play primarily popular music, so that would be different genres from just movie music, popular music, Broadway, Americana, Great American Songbook, every kind of popular music you could imagine, but all of it is played with a full symphony orchestra. That's kind of the difference. So we wouldn't do a concert with, a bunch of Mozart and Beethoven and Tchaikovsky, although once in a while we do classical orchestral pieces on our program. So that's pretty much what we are.
And you guys have all different kinds of concerts and free concerts, as well as some educational programs. So let's start with some of this. Y'all have a season, and people buy seasonal tickets, I think. And so tell me about those concerts.
Well, yeah, the main series is right now 6 concerts. We went from 5 to 6 this year, and there are 3 concerts in the fall and up to December, and then 3 concerts starting in January. So the season basically goes from October to late April, and that's again the main series. That's the series of concerts that we perform at the North Charleston Performing Arts Center, and there's a lot of variety that series. We can talk about the particular concerts that we're going to do. That's the main thing. And then we do a series in the spring called Jazz at Riverfront Park. And Riverfront Park is a beautiful park in North Charleston on the water. And we do a series of jazz performances that are outdoors, that are free. every couple of weeks, starting usually late March, early April, all the way through June. Sometimes we even do them in the fall. And then we provide educational services for the North Charleston community, where we go into schools and teach kids and have a chorus for area students and a string ensemble. So those are the main things that we do on a seasonal basis.
And now, the regular concert, the 6 concerts, for the season.
Right.
Do you have to buy the season tickets, or is this something like you can go and get one for one night? And I'm asking, hey, I might be in town, so
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, you can definitely buy single tickets. We encourage everybody locally to buy season tickets just because they get certain benefits. They get free parking, and it's a lot cheaper to buy a season ticket than to buy a single ticket.
Sure.
So, obviously we always try to push that as much as possible. And the series that we have this year, we're going to be featuring a lot of regional artists that are going to be performing with us. The first concert is October 19th, and it's called Bewitched, and it's featuring a singer who lives actually in North Florida, who has connections to the Carolinas, Elena Flores, and she is going to be performing all kinds of interesting things, everything from the Queen of the Night aria from Mozart's Magic Flute. So there is a little bit of classical music in this one, to Hallelujah by Cohen, and Never Enough, and Goodbye Yellow Brick Road by Elton John. And then we're going to have some interesting orchestral music, everything from The Devil Went Down to Georgia to Rocky Horror Picture Show. And so it'll be a really, really fun night. Our second concert is November 9th, and it's called Funk at the Philharmonic, and we're going to be featuring a local artist who is now living in Texas, but he was here for quite some time in our area, Robbie Madison, and we're going to be doing a lot of funk music, Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles, Earth, Wind, and Fire, theme from Shaft, things like that, all kinds of really great music from the 60s and 70s.
So
and then the last concert, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Tell me about the last concert, and then I'll ask.
Well, the last one of 2024 is our Holiday Pops, which we just started last year. We did it for the first time. And we're going to be featuring local singers, Martin Shaw, Suzanne Fleming Atwood, and Heather Rice, who this year performed a Joni Mitchell show with us. You also have the Palmetto City Ballet, and so yeah, it's going to be a real fun concert to celebrate the holidays. So those are the concerts for the rest of 2024.
Right. So, and what I was going to ask is, you guys, when I think of an orchestra, I just think of music being played. You don't normally, or I don't think of, vocalists, singers getting involved, but you guys do.
Yeah, we a lot of times will feature vocalists or sometimes instrumentalists. We've had pianists perform with us before. We've had cover bands perform with us. So there's a lot of variety. This year we just happen to have several singers that are performing with us in our concerts.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of cool. And now, as far as like the concerts down at the riverfront park, You said those are about every 2 weeks, or?
Yeah, I mean, that's what we've done the last couple of years. This is the second season that we've done the concerts, Jazz at Riverfront Park. And sometimes we'll have maybe a jazz trio playing, Great American Songbook stuff. So maybe, classic crooner tunes. Or we'll have maybe a Latin group performing, or Brazilian music, or, whatever. I mean, it's all different kinds of jazz, big band sometimes. So there's a lot of variety. It's become a very popular event. It's right outside the Momo restaurant, which is right up the Riverfront Park. So people can have a really nice meal there and listen to the live jazz outside. A lot of people bring picnics, and it's been a really fun and really popular thing.
Yeah, it sounds that way, and a great way for people to enjoy not only the music but the area as well. So,
right,
because that is beautiful down there.
It is.
The educational part of what you do, because you have a lot of, and we'll talk about how much in a minute, but the educational part of, is this something like you go and you guys teach a class for a day, or you're there for them for the whole year, or how does that work?
Well, it can be both. Like the main part of our program is that we have some of our musicians going in after school to teach kids in North Charleston, and they have a program there called Kaleidoscope, which is an after-school program, kind of an enrichment program that we are partnering with at different schools. So it's teaching kids instruments, usually string instruments, vocal music, and then some of those kids that are taught are part of our ensembles. We have a string group, and then we have a choir that perform with us every year on stage at the Performing Arts Center. And in addition to that, we will do performances for the kids featuring our players, so they get a chance to hear small groups play at their school. And this year, in addition to the elementary school programs that we've been doing, we're also going to be partnering with the Allegro Charter School in North Charleston, which is middle school and high school. So that will be kind of an expansion of what we've been doing. And this is a really important part of what we do, because a lot of the schools in North Charleston, the kids are they're Title I schools sometimes, and a lot of times they don't really have a lot of music education, especially in the earlier years, like in elementary school. So
right.
we wanna be a part of that.
Right. Great exposure for them, for sure.
You're right. Yeah. And we also do a summer camp, which we're going to be doing later in July, and that is music, but it also has dance and voice and different things. So that's an opportunity for kids to get some concentrated music education over the summer.
Oh, yeah. Neat. Now, do I understand that this is not the only orchestra that you are director and conductor over? Are you still?
Yeah. No, it isn't. I have other ones. And that's kind of common for conductors, right, that have more than one orchestra. And I traditionally had 2 or 3. I have another one in Pennsylvania that I work with, so I go there almost every month to work with that orchestra. I have a summer music festival in the Boston area that I'm actually going to next week, where I conduct in the summer. And then I do a lot of guest conducting with different orchestras all over the world. Actually,
I was going to say all over the world.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's a lot of fun. It's very exciting. And over the past 10 years or so, I've been involved in a project recording music at the Abbey Road Studios in London with the London Philharmonic. That's been really, really exciting.
Yeah, absolutely.
recording the music of the American composer Arnold Rosner, who's written a lot of wonderful music. So we've been putting it on disc. So so that's been really cool. So it keeps me busy. Let's put it that way.
I would imagine so.
Yeah.
So where's your when you travel and you do all these guest appearances as the conductor? What's your favorite, you think?
Well, I really love working here as much as anywhere
Home,
with the North Charleston
right,
Pops.
right.
Yeah, I mean it's great, and because it's our local orchestra. It's a big part of the city of North Charleston, which is a very big city, and it's a business hub for this area, and it's the third largest city in South Carolina, and so we take great pride in being connected to the city and partnering with the city and with the Performing Arts Center to put our concerts on. So, but obviously, I love going other places too. It's fun to do different things, and it's nice to have a little variety in my work. So I enjoy that a lot.
Yeah. So, when did you what was the first indication of your love of music that led you here?
Well, I started really early in music. I started when I was 5 years old, taking piano lessons, and then
That was your first instrument?
Yeah, but I didn't play for very long. So I ended up doing, playing other instruments, and I played the clarinet and the saxophone, and then I played the double bass and the electric bass and the tuba, and I studied composition of music and all that. And then when I went to college, I started to conduct, and that's where I really got excited about having a career in conducting. And I had my first job. I've been in the profession for 40 years as a full-time professional conductor. I got my first job in my mid-20s, and I've been doing it ever since. And when I'd always had an interest in this job, the orchestra was only a couple of years old when I came here, and I found out about it, and I thought it sounded like a really great opportunity. And then a position became available as music director and conductor, and I interviewed and auditioned for the position and got the job, and I've been here about almost 10 years now.
Nice.
But for the first part of it, I commuted. I was living in Kentucky, and we would commute. My wife and I would come down here to South Carolina, and really loved the Low Country. So about 3 years ago, we moved, and so we're really excited to be here full time.
Oh, well, good. Yeah. Now, let me ask you, the musicians that are in the orchestra, are they all local?
No, a lot of them are from here, from, North Charleston, Somerville, Mount Pleasant, this area. But then we have quite a few that come from out of town as well. We have people that come from Columbia and Greenville and Savannah and, all around the area, because, when you have a professional orchestra like this, we're selective in the people that we have perform with us.
Sure.
And so sometimes we go outside of our immediate area. In fact, most of the time, so most of the people come from kind of a wide radius, even people from Atlanta. So I'd say within a 5-hour radius. Our first trumpet player actually drives up here from Tampa. So yeah,
Oh, wow.
he's got one of the longest drives of anybody. So yeah, they come from all over.
And how many people are in a full orchestra? Or at least yours?
Our orchestra is about 50 to 60 people usually. Wow. So yeah, it's a big orchestra. Sometimes to the orchestra, we will have a band within the orchestra, like a combo, piano, bass, drums, guitar, as part of the orchestra, and saxophones frequently. So it's kind of it's a hybrid orchestra, I would say.
Sure, because like for the concerts at the down on the riverfront, you wouldn't take the whole full orchestra. You would just it would just be little whoever parts, and I got you. That sounds neat. Yeah, that's a big orchestra though.
Oh yeah.
So, who's been your biggest influencer? You think in the music world?
If I was talking specifically about pops and pops conducting and pops orchestra work and that kind of thing, I would say John Williams. He has been kind of a mentor to me in the pops world for a long time now. I won an award when I was in my 30s, and he wrote a personal letter to me congratulating me, which was really cool. And then about 10 years later, when I left one of the jobs that I had, he sent a signed first original page copy, original, I guess, of the first page of the Star Wars score, the first one that he did.
Oh, wow.
Which would have been, the fourth Star Wars, in the sequence. But
Sure.
It was the first one that came out in the 70s.
I'm sure you had that framed and it's hanging on a wall somewhere.
I sure do. I sure do. And, since then, we've been in touch. And, I would say for the pops world, he's been a huge influence. And, I've had a lot of other influences for the classical end of what I do because, I've always been a classical orchestra conductor ever since I started, and I've always done pops as well. And now I do about half and half in my career.
So you had done pops before?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. My first professional job when I was in my 20s, I was the associate conductor at the Jacksonville Symphony in Florida, and I did a lot of pops concerts for them, and that continued for quite a while. I was associated with the orchestra after I left as associate conductor. I did a lot of pops for maybe another 15 years or so, 20 years. So.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I've always done that.
Now, the award that you're talking about, are you talking about the Helen M. Thompson Award?
Yes.
Very prestigious award.
Well, thank you. I got that award when I think I was 35, and it's an award that they would give 1 year to a conductor and 1 year to an executive director of an orchestra. So they alternated it, and I was just overwhelmed that I got that award when I did.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was kind
well,
of a big thing for me.
Yeah. Would be for anybody. Yes. I did read up on that. I'll have to admit, did not know what that was at first. And I was like, well, what is this? And then I was like, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you.
Yeah. So, and tell me again, the next concert is coming up.
Well, our first concert of the season.
Oh, yeah, the first of the season.
Up in October. Yeah, It's October 19th. We actually have one more Jazz at Riverfront Park in September, but then the first actual concert on the stage at the North Charleston Performing Arts Center is October 19th. And it'll be a little bit of like a Halloween style concert, even though it's a little before Halloween, but it will be fun.
Oh, yeah,
I'm really
good.
excited about it.
Well, I thank you so much for being with me today, and I guess you can find out more about all these concerts and all these events. There's a Facebook page, and I think it's I'm standing right on it, and I don't know why. Here we go. North Charleston Pops, that makes sense, and that's the same as the website address. North Charleston.
And you can also just put in ncpops.
Oh, yeah.
.com. Yeah, so that's another way to get there.
Yeah.
And then we also have Instagram. So, yeah, please follow us on social media, and we'd love to see people come out to North Charleston to hear some concerts.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Angela. It's been a real pleasure being with you.
You as well.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Talking South Carolina podcast. If you want to find out more on Maestro Nick Palmer, go to nicholaspalmer.net. To find out more on the North Charleston Pops performance schedules and updates, go to ncpops.com. Why not check out our website at talkingsouthcarolina.com and follow us on social media. You can subscribe to the show on Spotify, YouTube Music, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and on your favorite podcast apps. For information about being a sponsor on the show and on the website, contact us at area code 803-386-9885 or email us at angela@talkingsouthcarolina.com. This episode has been brought to you by the friendly folks at Giraffe Marketing. Find out more at giraffemarketingllc.com.
I'm gonna be the best version of me. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, roar like a lion, and I ain't even trying, no, no.